Most people are completely enslaved by their emotions. They are happy when the world is kind and devastated when the world is cruel. By living this way, you are handing the remote control of your internal state to complete strangers. Modern society often rewards this vulnerability. We are encouraged to vent every feeling and treat minor inconveniences as significant traumas, a cycle that keeps the mind in a state of constant reaction. This creates a psychological state where you are easily disturbed. A single disrespectful comment can live in your head for days, replaying on a loop while you struggle to regain your footing. But the world does not pause for your recovery. It is indifferent to your feelings, and if your internal structure is fragile, the pressure of reality will eventually cause a collapse. Since the environment will not change to accommodate your emotions, the internal structure must change instead. To survive without being broken, you have to stop reacting to the noise and start building a mind of solid iron. Construction begins with demolition. You suffer because you carry the weight of expectations. You expect total loyalty, you expect a fair universe, and you expect instant rewards. When you remove these expectations, there is no gap between what you want and what occurs. Without that gap, disappointment has no place to take root. You simply observe the outcome and adjust the strategy. This rebuild also requires a sterile environment. You cannot maintain a fortress if people inside the walls are actively trying to dismantle it. You have to identify the dead weight and the sources of chaos in your circle. Removing these influences is a tactical necessity, not an emotional one. It is done with total silence, without explanation or argument. You must also evict the memory of past disrespect. Insults are merely data points. They only gain power if you choose to engage with the noise. By clearing away expectations and social clutter, you create a level, sterile site. Now you can begin the work of psychological reconstruction. The primary mechanism of this new mind is the ability to view your own life from a third-person perspective. Think of yourself as a scientist conducting an experiment. You are the researcher, and the person living your life is the subject under observation. By placing the observer behind a rigid boundary, you watch the subject experience setbacks without sharing the panic. When the subject fails, the observer records the data. There is no guilt, only identifying the faulty variable and executing a new plan. Developing this perspective is difficult in a world designed to keep you in a state of constant reaction. You need periods of isolation and a reduction in constant stimulation to learn how to hear your own logic over the buzz of your impulses. This level of detachment ensures that your internal sense of self remains steady, regardless of shifts in money, status, or external praise. Once the foundation is set, you install defensive protocols to handle immediate pressure. The first protocol is the delayed response. During a crisis, the biological urge is to react instantly. Instead, you force a freeze. You take 3 breaths to let the chemical spike of panic subside, allowing your logic to reclaim control of the situation. Anger is handled similarly. When a boundary is crossed, the fragile mind loses control. The cold mind views anger as a biological signal to be used, not felt. You compress that anger into a sharp, concentrated point. It becomes the fuel for a calculated response rather than an uncontrolled explosion. You must also view your daily energy as a finite currency. Every morning, you wake up with a set amount of resources to spend. Ask yourself if it is efficient to spend those resources on digital arguments or dwelling on the past. Logic dictates that you spend your energy only where it provides a measurable return. By regulating your reaction time and your energy expenditure, you maintain a rigid internal structure that is indifferent to the external weather. As you operate this way, others may perceive you as cold or unfeeling. This reaction usually stems from their realization that they can no longer influence your emotional state to serve their own ends. Fear also changes. Instead of a deterrent, it becomes a predictive algorithm, a guess about a negative outcome. You analyze the probability, assess the risk, and move forward regardless of the sensation. This leads to a final realization. No external force is coming to rescue you, and no one owes you an apology or closure. These are myths that keep you waiting for permission to move on. You create your own closure by accepting facts as they are. You take responsibility for the outcome of your life, finding a specific kind of freedom in that total accountability. When the world around you begins to panic, you remain in place, completely unmoved. You become the stable center of the chaos. This is a recurring choice, not a permanent transformation. Each time you prioritize logic over an emotional impulse, you add another layer of strength to the structure. Over time, the mind becomes increasingly difficult to breach.